Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will see one of the basic concept in calculus called limit of a function. See, calculus is one of the important branch in mathematics. Before going to the actual definition of limit of a function, let us see some introduction. For that purpose, suppose let us take x is one variable and let us take a is some constant. X is variable means values of x are going to change, and a is constant means value of a is fixed. See, on this real line, suppose this is my real line, this is my a is constant. How many ways are there to reach to this point A, to this constant? Obviously there are two ways, two paths. One can be approached to A from left side, also one can be approached to A from right side. This is left side is called as x tends to a minus, and this is right side is called x tends to a plus. X is a variable means x is taking the values which are very close to a and which lies left side of a. What this x tends to a minus, x tends to a plus represents? First, x tends to a minus means, what is the meaning of this? X tends to a minus means x is less than a. A minus means obviously the values of a which lies left side of a, obviously these values are less than a. X is less than a and x is close to a. Okay, x tends to a minus. Suppose this is my a. Suppose next value of a is a minus 1 by 4. This value is a minus 1 half. Next value is a minus 1. What are the values which lies right side of a? Let us take this value as a plus 1 by 4, a plus 1 half, and next value is a plus 1 and so on. Therefore, in this case, what are the values of x which is taking? X is less than a, which are close to a, less than a. What are the values of x which are less than a? Values a minus 1 by 4 means x must take a minus 1 by 4, a minus 1 half, a minus 1 and so on. Similarly, x tends to a plus means x is greater than a and x is close to a. See, what is the meaning of x tends to a? We write it as this and we pronounce it as x tends to a. X tends to a means x is very close to a and x is not equals to a. The meaning of x tends to a is x is very close to a from this side or from this side, and x is not exactly equals to a. Now here in this case x tends to a plus means what are the values of x which are taking? X is greater than a and x is close to a. What are the values of x which are greater than a and which are very close to a? This value is a plus 1 by 4, a plus 1 half, a plus 1 and so on. Okay, getting the meaning of this x tends to a. Now to illustrate this introduction, let us go with one example. Let us suppose we are having the function f of x equals to x plus 3. Now find out the value of f of x. Find f of x as x tends to 3. X tends to 3 means x is very close to 3 but not exactly equals to 3. Now see, as we know that how many ways are there. This is suppose my 3, this is 2, this is 1, this is 4, 5. How many ways are there? As we have seen here, there are two ways. One we can approach 3 from this side, one we can approach 3 from right side, left side, right side. Now for that, let us prepare the table which represents the values of x from left side as well as values of x from right side. First table represents x approaches, or we can say it as x tends to 3 from left side. X f of x. Prepare the table. is my real line. 3, 2, 1. Next value is 4, 5. What is the values of x? We are taking the values of x which are close to 3 and left which are less than 3. Left side means x tends to 3 minus. What is the value which is previous to 3? Suppose here it 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 and so on up to 2.9. We can take the values. Let us take first value as 2.5. Next value 2.6. Its next value 2.9. Again its next value 2.99. Means see here we can't take x equals to 3 directly in this table because x tends to 3. We have to find the value of f of x, and x tends to 3 means x is very close to 3 but not equals to 3. Now let us find out the values corresponding f of x. When x is 2.5, what is f of x? Substitute 2.5 here. 2.5 plus 3. What we obtain? 5.5. 2.6 plus 3. 5.6 and so on. 2.9 plus 3. 5.9. Next value is 5.9. This first table represents values of f of x. Values of x which are closer and closer to 3 from left side. Now let us prepare the second table in which x tends, or we can write it as x approaches to 3 from right side. See what is the value which is next to 3. Suppose this is my 3.5, 3.4, 3.2, 3.1 and 3. Let us prepare the table. X approaches to 3 from right side. That is, we can write it as x tends to 3 plus. Again prepare the table, and after preparing both the tables, let us observe what is the value which is next to 3. Close to 3. I will take suppose 3.5, 3.4, 3.1 and next value suppose I will take it as 3.01. Obviously it is close to 3 but not exactly 3. Let us find out corresponding f of x. 3.5 plus 3. Would we obtain 6.5, 6.4, 6.1, 6.0. Okay. See here, up to now we have prepared two tables. Now let us observe the table. What is our observation? Let us observe these two tables. Whenever x approaches to 3 from left side, f of x gets closer and closer to 6. And whenever x approaches to 3 from right side, f of x getting closer and closer to 6. Therefore, from both sides, from left side as well as from right side, we have f of x getting closer and closer to 6. That is, we can write it as here, limit of f of x as x tends to 3 minus, means this table, limit of f of x as x tends to 3 plus, what is the value? X tends to 3 minus, x tends to 3 plus, what we obtain f of x? It is 6. Therefore, we can write it as here, 6 is the limiting value of f of x as x tends to which number? It is 3. That is, we can write it as 6 is the limiting value of f of x x tends to 3. That is, we can write it as from left side as well as from right side. In general, we can write it as limit of f of x as x tends to 3 equals to 6. Now, let us go to the definition. Actual definition of limit of a function. Definition of limit of a function. Let us go to the definition of limit of a function. A function f of x is said to have a function f of x is said to have limit L as x tends to a if a function f of x is said to have limit L as x tends to a if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists delta greater than 0. Means what? For each and every epsilon which is positive, find out corresponding delta. At least one delta we have to find which satisfy this condition. Which condition? Mod of f of x minus n less than epsilon whenever mod of x minus a less than delta. Means whenever mod of x minus a less than delta, mod of f of x minus l less than epsilon. See, we can write this as, that is f of x belongs to epsilon neighborhood of l minus epsilon to l plus epsilon whenever x belongs to the delta neighborhood of a minus delta. See how this mod of x minus a less than delta becomes this. See, as we know that mod x strictly less than a means we can write it as x strictly lies between minus a to plus a. That is here mod of x minus a less than delta, we can write it as x minus a strictly lies between minus delta to plus delta. Adding a to both sides we obtain x is strictly lies between a minus delta to a plus delta. Therefore, x is lies between a minus delta to a plus delta means we can say it as x belongs to the delta neighborhood of a minus delta to a plus delta. This is my a. What is a minus delta? Which lies left side. What is a plus delta? Which lies right side of it. And x is lies in between means x takes a value from a minus delta to a plus delta means we can write it as x belongs to the delta neighborhood or open interval in a minus delta to a plus delta. Therefore, similarly we obtain f of x belongs to the L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. Okay, getting this? This is the definition of limit of a function. That is, symbolically we write it as limit of f of x as x tends to a equals to a. Whenever we are writing as x tends to a means x tends to a from left side as well as x tends to a from right side. That is, we can write it as this. That is limit of f of x. This left side we can write it as x tends to a minus and which is equals to limit of f of x as x tends to a plus and which is equals to L. That is, L is the limiting value of f of x when x approaches to a from left side as well as from right side. I think you all understood the definition. Thank you for watching my video. Stay safe, stay healthy.